Hey guys, you're watching CJ's guitar lessons, and today we'll be playing Sweet Home Alabama. Alrighty, well, before I teach you how to play it, I'll play it myself first so you know what it'll sound like at the end. So here we go. Alrighty, well, that's the general gist of it. It's a pretty basic riff. Played a few times, and you'll be right. So I'm gonna separate this lesson into two parts. I'm gonna teach you what's happening with the left hand first in terms of chords, and then I'll show you what I'm doing for right hand afterwards. And then after that, we'll be able to put them both together, and hopefully they'll make it a little bit easier to learn. So the first chord in this little riff is a D chord. For those of you that don't know what a D chord is, I'll just show you. You got your first finger, you put it on the 3rd string 2nd fret, so sound like this. Your second finger, also on the 2nd fret, but on the 1st string. Then you got your 3rd finger, and that is going on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So altogether, it will sound like this. Yep. Alrighty. Second chord is a C chord. Once again, I'll show you the fingers. So your first finger goes on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Your second finger goes on the 4th string 2nd fret. And your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So when you play that, it will sound like this. Cool. The last chord you need to know is the G chord. This is a 4-finger G chord. Some songs you only need 3 fingers. This one, 4-finger. Alright, so your first finger, 5th string 2nd fret. Your second finger is going on the 6th string on the 3rd fret. Your 3rd finger is going down on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And your 4th finger on the 1st string on the 3rd fret. So it sounds like this. Alright, so that's pretty basic. You got the D chord, C chord, G chord, and then we'll get to a bit later after done the right hand. Okay, so for your right hand, it's exactly the same thing pretty much with the D and the C chord, and then for the G there's just a slight difference. Alright, so when you have your left hand on the D chord, all you want to do is play the bass notes. So for the D, that's the 4th string, and you play that twice, so yep. And then you play the 2nd and 3rd string. Oops. Alright, so when you play it, you have to get the timing right to make it sound proper. So it should sound like this. So there's a bit of a gap between the 4th string and then going to the 2nd, but then the 2nd and 3rd you play pretty close together. So I'll play it one more time. Okay, cool. For the C chord, exactly the same thing, but the C chord's bass note is the 5th string. So it's bass, bass, 2nd and 3rd string. So cool. And finally for the G chord, same again for the bass. So the bass note on the G chord is the 6th string, so play that twice. But instead of playing the 2nd and 3rd, you just play the 3rd once. So it sounds like this. Alright, so that leaves us with the little bit that we do after the G. Alright, so for the last bit, Like I said before, it'll take a few times to practice, but it's really not that hard. Alright, so the first bit, play the 5th string open, and then you're going to be hammering on. Doesn't really matter what finger you use. I use my 2nd finger. So 5th string open, then hammer on. Then you're going to do the same with the 4th string, play open, hammer on. Alrighty, so you play them both together now. That's, and then you pull off and hammer on the 5th again and pull off. And that's it, and then you go back into the D. Alright, so with the riff again, I'll play it all together slow so you can see what's happening. So 5th string open, hammer on, 4th string open, hammer on, pull off, then 5th string hammer on without playing the 5th string and pull off. So altogether normalish speed. Alright, and doesn't really sound like it's completed, and that's because it's not, because that leaves it open, ready to go back into the D chord. So there we go. Alright, thanks guys for watching the video tutorial on Sweet Home Alabama. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and whatever else you can do. This is only my first video, so if you have any tips for me, leave them below in the comments, and I'll read them all and act upon them, hopefully, if they're reasonable tips. Alright, cheers guys.